we can move right on to the next level, which is the movie reviews.
Reviews.
So
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Just remember, everybody, our movie review system, we have a 5-to-1 system, 5 being great or classic, 1 being a dud. And then we will mix in what we feel about the 5-to-1 ratings going forward on that. So the first movie we have up is the movie of possibly, I think it's going to be the summer, Jungle Cruise. I know everybody's going to kind of halfway disagree with that, but I feel like it is. So Jungle Cruise, let's go and jump to you, Jaron. What is your thoughts on Jungle Cruise?
Oh, fuck. We're starting with me? All right.
Yeah.
Gotta get your notes in order.
I got notes. All right. First and foremost, Paul Giamatti is a great like witless foil. He's just like whatever. Oh fuck.
Talk about an actor who's always commanding the screen. Paul Giamatti should have been somewhere on this too.
Yeah.
He is, even when he's in terrible fucking movies. Like,
yeah,
he's great. He's great. Go on. I'm sorry, Jaron.
Yeah, no. The first act of this movie is literally without shame 100% a commercial for a fucking Disney ride. Bullshit, and you should feel bad about enjoying it. It's stupid, and I hate it, and I like immediately was turned off by this movie. I was so angry about this. That being said, there are a lot of other aspects of it that I don't like as well. It's kind of a paint by the numbers, like from the Pirates movies. But here's the real thing that it copies. It's straight up a carbon copy of the 90s Mummies movies. You've got the strong female protagonist. You have got the hapless, possibly gay, but probably just European brother. And you've got the scoundrel that'll make everything happen. This fucking irritated me all the way. Also, let's have a real conversation, if we can, about how is it that Germany made any progress during any of the wars? Because if movies are to be believed, they're always away from the war, looking for some sort of magical trinket. Like all movies, World War I, World War II, don't matter. Germany's on the hunt for a magical trinket.
They were a lot more competent in the real life. Those Germans.
These dad jokes were mad thin, like super quick. Luckily, they kind of like they spaced them out as the movie went on. The effects were trash visually, but with the caveat that the movie was supposed to be out last summer, so they're really trash because they had an extra year to fucking figure it the fuck out.
You know, once they were fucking done, they were like, "We're done. It's over."
Especially that fucking Jaguar. What the fuck? Anyway, that's just a visual specs thing. Going back to the effects, it immediately makes me think of Bill Nighy as Davy Jones. Like everything about the visual effects was busy, but you saw the actor through it. It was an amazing achievement. And what's his fucking name? It's killing me. Edgar Ramirez. Edgar Ramirez. Decent fucking actor. But he got lost. Like they framed his face and then just covered it with random shit instead of making the effect about it like him. Like it's the difference between a good visual director and a bad visual director. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jason.
Like, it's the difference between passable and horrible. Yes.
That being said, I enjoyed it. I'm
going to shit on this thing for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to say I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. Other than the headhunters being surprisingly white, other than the main girl, the lack of comedic visually affected bad guys, like the ones from Pirates. I was a big fan. You got the wood guy, you've got the bee guy, and you've got the main dude. Like they were all very serious about this.
Yeah, you got the shit guy. I called him shit guy because he.
Oh yeah, and mud guy. Yeah. Despite all that, despite the probably the worst first act that I've seen in something like this, which again was just all fan service for the fucking ride. The second and third act were a lot of fun. And also, can I just give a little shout out to the fucking German dude?
Jesse Plemons?
Yeah, Plemons. My dude had some weird energy, but he was super committed in this cartoon of a movie.
He always has weird energy. That's his thing. That's what.
Like everything he did, I'm like, you're in a cartoon, right? But you're fucking excited, like you're touching the fucking the nose of the fucking snake at the beginning. Yeah. You're smacking fucking bees in the middle, like you're what every Plemons made this. Obviously, the two leads are. I've looked before we did this. I looked at just some random excerpts from people. Some people think they didn't have any chemistry on screen. I disagree. I think their chemistry was great. I mean, it was a cantankerous. It was an aggressive chemistry, but they did it well. They didn't play it to the point where one felt like he or she was too much. It flowed. It did. They both were coming at each other fucking headstrong, and it is what it is. Jack Whitehall. He's my favorite Disney ambiguously gay individual.
Not ambiguously gay.
I was say not ambiguous at all.
He literally stole the rock that he was gay.
Yes.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He said I had all these women lined up to marry, but my love lies elsewhere.
Yes.
And he did that. He's gay, dude. There's no subtext to it.
Yeah. Oh no, you and I are fucking intelligent. All of us are intelligent people. He's gay.
There's no subtext to that.
But this is for the Trump supporters to be like, well, maybe he just
no. Disney even said it. Disney even came out and said it.
Yeah, he gay.
Yeah, Disney even came out and said it. So it's no.
Yeah.
There's no subtext to it.
Well, is this the first one?
No, because
a lot of ambiguously gay characters.
They claim this is the first one, though. This is what Disney's pushing on this one. This is the first one that legitimately says it, like
without actually saying it, though, in the movie.
Yeah. But he definitely kind of says it.
Yeah,
he definitely kind of. He's the most ambiguously gay character.
I don't think
he's the most non-ambiguously
ambiguous at all. It's like, that's why I even make the comment of like,
say he was gay.
You want to love. Like,
what do you do? Like, you want him to come out with a flag and be like, "I'm gay"? No, like,
right
no,
in that era,
boyfriend. Literally, just.
He said all the right words to say that he's gay without actually having to say he's gay.
But he didn't.
He would have been killed and ostracized if it wasn't for his sister.
Elsewhere. Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. Also, his sister wears pants. I don't know if you know this, but they talked about it in the movie once or twice.
I mean, he calls her pants the whole entire time.
Also, the bad guys do. Yo, it's the bitch in the pants.
All right, you got any more for us, Jared?
I'm just saying, if you're gonna be gay, be gay.
He was gay.
Don't tiptoe around.
I don't know how much clearer they could have made it. So I mean,
right, so he didn't make out with a man. Like in a lot of other stuff, like their shorthand for being a character being gay is them from to see the first dude and fuck him. They didn't do that in this one. All right, they didn't do that. But no character goes, "I'm gay." They just have sex with a dude, and they were like, "Oh, I guess he's gay." Then he practically said he's gay, and that's
he practically said He's gay. Thank you.
But like, if it was any other movie, he would have never had made an allusion to it whatsoever. They would have just been like, "Oh, he's a little dandy." No, he literally explains to The Rock that he's gay, and The Rock's like, "Cool, I'm 400 years old.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck."
Ironically, the 400-year-old man's like, dope.
Like, okay, I mean, shit happens. I'm magic. I don't fucking care.
How hilarious
let's
would
be
have been
real.
if The Rock
40 years
stabbed
ago,
him
like,
immediately.
a lot of
was
those
like,
guys
"Ew,
were banging little,
heretic."
they were banging little boys. So
Yeah, they were
be
fucking.
honest.
They had gay people 400 years, or I guess it would be 500 years in our part because this took place in 19.
All right,
Yeah.
Duke, what do you got on this movie?
Waves.
I will agree with Jaren and say the visual effects of this were pretty terrible. If you, because this movie does draw a lot from Pirates of the Caribbean, and if you're talking about like really good visual effects, Davy Jones was a fucking watershed moment. He was great, and you could, you're fucking Disney. You need to keep that same energy, right?
Yes.
But other than that, other than the sort of passable, main, I guess they were the main. I don't even know if they were the main bad guys. They weren't even the main bad guys. They were just the henchmen to Jesse Plemons.
No,
they were totally throwaway. I like the kind of story about it, but I enjoyed this movie. I had fun. I liked the dad jokes because I like the Jungle Cruise. I'm the one fucking laughing on the Jungle Cruise at these fucking corny ass jokes. I'm the one going, "Did you get it?" So, the fact that The Rock started off this movie with these corny ass jokes, I loved every second of that. I liked Paul Giamatti as the over the bearing
the gold
rich guy. I definitely enjoyed Jack Whitehall as the gay character, and I like the fact that even though he was kind of a caricature, he wasn't a complete 100%. He's the gay guy.
He can still throw a punch.
Yeah, he still held his own in the fights, and he fought alongside in any other, if this was like the 80s, the 90s, or even the 2000s, if this character was going to be coded as gay, he would have been like, "Oh no, I don't fight," or something, some other stereotype like that.
He would have punched him and been like,
"Oh, my hand hurts. Oh my goodness," and he didn't do any of that. He was much as a part of the action, and as The Rock, and as Emily Blonsky. I can't remember
when he was there.
Yeah, but either way, like her and The Rock's chemistry, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed their playing off each other. I enjoyed the fact that she wore pants and he just called her pants because to him that's something weird. A woman wearing pants. Even in his 400 years of seeing all this, he's still like, I ain't seen that shit before. Yeah. I enjoyed the whole like kind of like the lore behind it that they couldn't get within, they always had to be within like sight of the river and all that other good stuff. And if they were trapped in some other place, like the river would try to pull them in, but they couldn't get there, so they would just be stuck. I thought that was a pretty cool way to,
which felt a lot like Davy Jones and not being
it was still very Davy Jones's longer, very Pirate of the Caribbean, but it worked for this story, so it was fun for me. I enjoyed myself on this little jungle cruise down the river. I did there
the jungle snooze.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is the cruise that starts off great, but then you stay 1-2 days too long and you're like, I'm ready to go home. The really biggest negative I have is like, it's 2 hours long, guys. Like
it's a long ass movie.
We give me an hour and a 30, man, maybe even an hour and 40. I can set like you can, and I think we feel like we say this every week now. You can almost cut out about 15 minutes, 20 minutes of this movie, and it still works perfectly fine. Yes, I thank you, Jaron. Thank you for what you said, because when people ask me about it and they're like, "Oh, it just feels like Pirates of the Caribbean," and I'm like, no, this is the Mummy, and I'm glad that you brought it up because this is the
100%.
Does it have DNA in it from Pirates? Yes. Does it have? And mostly that's because the stupid effects of the villains. This is why people related to Pirates, because if that didn't exist, we wouldn't do it at all.
But the characters
are definitely
This is the Mummy all the way. This movie is one of those movies I'm going to lump into this boat that's called, hey, this movie really sucks, but because the people in here are so charismatic, we don't give a damn. You know what other movies are in that list for me? Demolition Man. That movie sucks, but the characters are so charismatic, we don't give a damn. You know another one that I recently just stumbled across that I like and I forgot how much I like? Cowboys versus Aliens.
I love that movie.
I love that movie.
It's a terrible movie. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh, it's so dumb.
It's
Daniel Craig, baby.
but it's so fun because you don't care. And that is the point about this, is that, you know what? This role that The Rock played is Frank or Francisco, whatever. No one else on the planet could play this role because you have to have the right amount of the ability to be a tough guy, but enough of a cheesiness and enough of the like almost I'm fun with making fun of myselfness to make this work. Like not an Arnold, not a Sly, like none of the big action guys go. This is like one of those movies where you like, I can't see anybody playing this role as good or better than The Rock because of the ability of him to make fun of himself, but also be believable as a big guy that can knock people out. So kudos to that casting. Kudos to Emily Blunt's casting. Like I think that pairing was great. Like I'm with the naysayers. I think the chemistry of them working together was great. I think the love chemistry was kind of fugazi, but I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, if you're going to make this movie, make it around the people and the players that are interesting people and players. Like all the little Snake and all that. They didn't get that much screen time. You know why? Because they weren't fucking interesting. They were god awful. So they kept it with The Rock, with Emily Blunt, the brother, and they came up with Jesse Plemons. That's what your movie's going to be. That's what it's going to be. So my pros and cons, and then naturally pros, The Rock, Emily Blunt. I thought the action scenes were very scripted fun. But again, the visual effects, whatever. We'll talk about the negatives. I'm like you, Jason. I enjoy the cheesy jokes. As a dad myself, these dad jokes are great. And I'm like you, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, all those places that do the cheesy jokes, I'm here for.
Yeah, I love that
whole theater. And I'm pretty sure people were looking at me like, this shit ain't even funny. Why does dude laughing so hard? I loved it. I don't care. I effing loved it. Also, the sword part with all the innuendo in the sword part, magical. Magical when they had to pull the sword out and he were giving all the, oh, this is the first time I've ever done this. Oh, don't worry, just take it out slowly and he's like, you get behind you and wiggle a little bit.
You might want to use both hands.
Right. It was great. It was great. I cracked up so hard, and I felt like nobody else in the theater got that except for like me because it was just so deliberately bad, but it was so deliberately executed awesomely. Like that's what made it so great.
You want to put in my stick?
Yeah. My cons are 2 hours. Yep. The story is a mess. The story's like I don't even care what the story was at this point. Like it's a mess. No real villain. Even Jesse Plemons and they split time, so it was no real the guy. It was just like they're both looking for the same thing.
That was the thing with Pirates, right? You had the douchey fucking like naval captain trying to take control of the mythical sea. Like that was like
it's no villain.
They kept going back and forth.
Jesse
I mean, because even Pirates 1, you had basically Barboza.
Yeah,
Barboza. Main driving villain.
And
you had a secondary villain as the British do, but the main driving villain was Barboza. In this one, I guess you would say the main driving villain is Jesse Plemons' character. But even then, he's like,
go this route. Why is no villain, Jaron? They would still do this jungle cruise if nobody was chasing them. So to me, a villain has to kind of be trying to either intercept, stop, or hinder your ability. This thing goes on because she still wanted to find the pedal. So even without the interference, this still would have happened. With Pirates, that's a whole different game. And I hate comparing to Pirates. I think it's more the Mummy, where with Pirates in this situation, they needed to stop their curse. And the plane that was stopping them from stopping their curse were the good guys. So it was a direct thing. Like this one, you didn't like if the Pirates weren't trying to stop the curse, Jack and them adventure means nothing because Jack would have went on living his life.
No, you're
like so right. There was no villain. There was nobody that was stopping the movement because let's be completely honest, if they were being fair, everybody could have got a pedal.
Yeah,
like, every single one of them could have got a pedal and been healed and went on about
if y'all had moved quickly, everybody could got a pedal. We all got our goal. We could have saved you, the snake guy. We could have saved you, set you free, and you could go on to die. Like, why are we fighting, guys?
right. Only person you should be fighting is the German guy, because Germans are bad people in every movie. So, sorry, but it was no real villain there for me. And I assume that they only put Paul Giamatti in this movie because they're going to make a sequel, and they know that he's going to be more valuable in the sequel. Because if not, they just wasted a good actor. And my headcanon on this movie is Jungle Cruise 2. should take place like at the end of World War II when The Rock had to
Electric
go fight the war, and now he's like charisma'd out, and they got to go find his mojo. That would be my favorite part of my headcanon for Jungle Cruise 2.
Well,
The Rock isn't going to survive a war. He already lived 400 years without being able to die. That's just, you get into a groove. All of a sudden,
we're assuming that he would actually age normally after this.
Right,
he's not going to be.
Right.
He's going to be pretty old to be fighting in World War II by the time that.
Again, it's just my head canon. Just be like, hey, he's an old, withered, like alcoholic man at this point.
I guess they did,
and they need to bring him along for this adventure because she trusts no one else to do this with her except for The Rock's character.
And they're going to have head canon for. They're going to have a kid. He's going to name Francisco.
Anytime you can put a gold fucking tooth in the mouth of Paul Giamatti, I'm fucking there for it.
Bring him back.
Let's go on. Let's go on to our ratings. Jaron, what do you give this The Jungle Cruise?
Oh, definitely. So 5 is seeing it in theaters and watching it, then like paying for it.
Yeah.
This is definitely a stream. Number 4.
4. Okay. Jason.
I would give it a 3. I mean, I liked it, enjoyed it. It's not anything that you need to rush out and see, but if you find it for free, like I did, watch it. That's a joke, Disney. I didn't find it for free. I paid for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. I think I'm in between both of you guys. I gave it a 3.5. If you can find this on, video on demand, on a discount, go for it. But, it's a little better. It's a little better than a stream on Netflix. So, or I guess Disney Plus when it gets there. Like, when you don't,
it's already there. Just for $30.
Yeah, I understand. We don't have to pay for it. Like, if Disney Plus was like $15, yeah, I would say go ahead and enjoy your time. But yes, let's move right along. As I spoke of Netflix, I spoke them into existence here. Let's go ahead and talk about Netflix's latest movie here, Blood Red Sky. Did I say that correctly? Is that the name of it?
Did.
I hope that's
all right. Jason, the Duke of all Nerds, is the one that really suggested this to us. So let's let you open on, kick it off. Let's roll.
So this movie is on Netflix, and it's about a plane that's being hijacked by Dominic Purcell and a bunch of other ne'er-do-well German bad guys. It's a foreign language film.
All about by his real name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name in the movie. Honestly, I didn't. It was a foreign language film, so if you don't like a lot of subtitle reading, this is probably not the movie for you. But there are a lot of parts that are in English too, so that's great. But unfortunately, these poor hapless terrorists have a vampire on their plane. This woman who was flying from, I guess, Germany to America to get cured of her vampirism with their young son is a vampire, and she fucks them up. That's basically the whole entire plot of the movie. Is that this vampire chick trying to protect her son from these very bad guys, and for the most part, trying to protect the plane, but didn't work out so well, is on this plane. It's Passenger 57 with vampires, and I was here for it. Like, I like these kind of movies where it's just like take an already stressful situation that would make its own movie, terrorists on a plane, and throw something weird into it, like vampires or like a werewolf or something like that, and like see how they react or whatever. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the mother's protectiveness of her son. Like, she did not want to be a vampire. She was not into this at all, but she was slowly losing her humanity in order to protect her son. And as a parent, that's something you would do. Like, I would go through hell for my child, or put as Jim Gordon says, I would reach down into the mud so the rest of you can stay clean. So I enjoyed this. This is fun. It wasn't scary. There was one scary part, one stupid part where the reason she gets to be a vampire is because for some reason her and her husband are driving around in the snow at night, and the car stops, and he just wanders off to the most scariest looking place and gets murdered. And then she, with a newborn, follows him into the scariest looking place, and then gets bit by a vampire. But I enjoyed the fact that, like, if there was a way for her to be able to control it, when she went back and talked to her, the vampire's dad, even though she smashed his head in and gruesomely violent, and that she's been trying to control it for like 8 years while her still trying to like raise her kid. I don't know how that kid went to school. He must have been homeschooled or something, because like, it's hard to be a parent and be nocturnal. But there was some cool like racial things going on where they got the Muslim people on there to record a message to make it seem like they were terrorists. And even when they landed the plane and all the people had been already turned into vampires, and the one guy left was this Muslim guy, and he's like, I am not a terrorist. I need to get off this plane and you need to destroy the plane. And they're like, nah, terrorists. That's what terrorists say.
That's some terrorist shit.
But then in the end, when they like, oh shit, there's vampires in this motherfucker, and they blow up the plane, they're like, just let these fuckers go. Like, I don't even know how to explain this shit. So for me, it was an enjoyable Netflix movie. I didn't pay anything to see it other than my Netflix fee, and I thought it was fun. Y'all can go on to your reviews and
all right. I'll jump in next, and yes, it was blood in the air, but don't nobody care, because these passages were so oblivious for majority of this movie. I was like, okay, all right. Going to my notes, I think a lot of everything you agree with, I agree with as well. An inch too long. I think it's still 2 hours and 2 minutes. I don't think it needed all that. But after I saw the full completion of the movie, I'm like, okay, I can see why they did this. I'm with you. I'm a huge fan of what I call the genre swap films, like Dusk Till Dawn. Like, I love these movies that start off as something, and then once you get into it, you realize, oh shit, I just stumbled into a vampire flick. Let's go. Like, I love that. So I'm here for that all the way. The beginning sections are really, really good. The middle gets kind of like they're kind of coasting, and then the end ramps up really, really tremendously, which I enjoy. My pros on here, my biggest pro is, man, it's been so long since I've seen like a Nosferatu vampire. I was totally here for it. Like,
yeah,
that
gnarly.
gave me, once they tried to grab her and the wig came off, I was like, I popped, and I watched this like 5 a.m. in the morning too. Like, I popped Saturday and was like, yes, we get like Nosferatu vampires. This is awesome.
When like her teeth start falling out, and like she's got it was so gnarly.
I was here for it. They built up the mother very, very well. Like her mythos or ethos and all that were great. I thought they did a tremendous job with that, which I can really, really appreciate, because they could have done none of that and just been like, hey, she's a vampire, deal with it. Let's keep going. So I liked how effective the gore was used in here, because you could tell this wasn't a huge, big budget movie. So they had to really pick and choose. Right. But they really had to pick and choose how and when to use the gore. And I thought that's very important for a guy who loves horror movies. Some of my cons are the kid was effing annoying. The kid was effing annoying. I'm sorry. I'm with you. That backstory of how she
shot.
Yeah, right. That backstory of like, because you and they started doing it near the end when they started making the kid more self-sufficient. Because my idea is, like, if you were raised by this vampire woman, you would have to be a very self-sufficient kid from a very early age, because of like the circumstances of your parents not being able to go out with
He just made a stupid choice.
Fucking first part of the movie. He clearly knows what's going on. He fucking adheres to the rules. And then the plane, he says, fuck rules, I'll do what I want.
Well, like in his mind, he's trying to save his mom. It's like, yo, we can run back here and hide down here. Like, he's not thinking like, oh, this plane's not going to make it
shit. And he's going, maybe I'll think about it.
But he's also a child. Children make stupid decisions. That's why they're children.
Yeah, but he's also
again, I'm not killing him for this. I thought he was annoying. That's what I said. He was effing 100. I hated the fact that there was no character development for anybody else in this movie. So you're gonna give me a 2-hour long movie and you don't give a damn about nobody else. Which, okay, cool, but then you make choices near the end that I'm like, okay, now you make me not care about the movie because of the choices you made. And one of the bigger choices is just, I feel like they should have let the mother end in the scene where they killed the main big bad, because then we could have lived with the son having to deal with the death of his mother and still having to overcome that and still be the hero of the story. Where I think when you let it go on to the very end like that and you kill her, all that emotion that we built up of loving the mother, I feel like it's thrown out. It's let go now because you blow it up and you go in credits. So
and you also see her turn to full vampire.
Yeah, I was like,
right.
Yeah, I disagree,
but I feel like that turn should have been in that scene where she gets rid of the big bad, where they kind of did it. I thought they were going to go that route, where he fed her the blood and she's up and she's trying to fight her instincts of being a vampire, but also the mother and the push and pull. And I wish she would have at that point realized that she couldn't overcome it and fight it, and tried to attack him with the light or something would have gotten her. Just something,
or even just jumped out the plane herself and just to not
something
even
that could have let us live in that moment, because we've been living with this character for an hour and 50 minutes at this point. Yeah. And we're like, hey, like right. And then you give us the scene at the end and it's like, oh, she's blown up and it's over. And it's like, okay, I mean, that sucked, but all right. So I feel like that. And that's my biggest thing too, with a lot of character deaths. Like, character deaths aren't for the character. It's for the people who surround the character and how they respond to those deaths is what a movie's supposed to be about. If you decide to kill a character, which I think movies totally forget now. They just kill jokers and be like, in credit roll. And it's like, whoa. Like, you got to show us how this affects the character that we've been following to care. But anyway.
Joss Whedon paved the way.
Right. My headcanon on this movie is that at a certain point, they should just went balls to the walls, yonkers crazy with this movie. They should have had the kid become a vampire. They should have had the Indian dude become a vampire, and they should have went 3-on-3 tag team vampire brawling all through the plane.
Yeah,
and
I don't think he was
you should have been destroying the civilians as you went along, making them farther to the battle between these two vampire cliques right now. That's why I wanted just to go completely off the rails at the end of it and just be, instead of how they went off the rails where it's like everybody's a vampire now and they're like, okay, cool, great. Also, like, they could have missed me with the political message of the whole, hey, let's talk about racism and stereotyping. Like, fuck out of here.
If you're trying to get away with hijacking the plane, you're gonna blame it on the first brown person you see.
Yep.
I agree, but I don't need that in the movie. Like, it added nothing to the movie except for the stupidity of the movie.
Here real quick. I got something for you to do.
Like, I would have rather than been like, hey, we're not getting anybody off the plane until we get answers of what the fuck is going on. And this dude yelled vampires, and they've been like, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard. No, obviously something more like that would have been more believable than like, no, you're the terrorist because you're the terrorist. Like, because terrorists
you are a terrorist.
Because terrorists just land planes and just hang him out there and be like, yeah.
And contact the flight control and be like, hey, can I get out of here, please?
Right.
Everybody's already dead, but not me. I'm not dead. Let me out.
Right. All right, but that's my thoughts on Blood Red Sky. Jaren, your thoughts?
All right, couple things. Nadia killed it. She was brilliant. Every point in this movie, like, I watched her and she sold exactly what I think the movie was trying to tell us. Like, I fucking enjoyed her. Hook, line, and sinker. I found out watching this movie that I have come to disagree with a cliche that I didn't know existed prior to this movie.
It's a common cliche.
Well, all right. So please tell me if this is what I'm about to say is what you think. Like, I'm so sick and tired of a proper, like, criminal organizational structure being undermined by that one sadist that just can't fucking handle his fucking shit. His or her, doesn't matter. Gender exclusive.
There.
Like I'm sick and fucking tired of people being like, we planned this out, we got this, we sorted, and that one fucking individual going, yeah, but I'm gonna murder some people for fun because here we are.
What else are we gonna get to do this?
It's a fucking cliche at this point, and it's garbage.
Which reminds me, is like, he was also the plant on the flight as a flight attendant. Like, how he get through like fucking his job interviews?
This is a long time coming, apparently.
Like, this has been a 6-year kind of thing for me. I've been holding it in this long, not killing anybody.
Get these motherfucking vampires off a motherfucking plane. Yeah. I'm sorry that I'm the first one that said that. Y'all motherfuckers are slipping. I am not a fan of flashbacks. That being said, I really enjoyed how this director approached it because every time there was a flashback, for the most part, she like was like unconscious. Like there was like almost like her mind was swimming. Like there was a reason we were flashing back. It wasn't like
Cut
she
to.
looked at a fucking piece of yellow mustard and it was like, oh my god, yellow mustard. You know what I'm saying? Like there was an interesting aspect to it that I again not a fan of flashbacks and definitely not a fan of out of time you know presenting the movie if you don't have a good reason for it, and there was no good reason for it in this movie. That being said, I give a lot of shit on directors and how they approach things. In this particular instance, this German director, whose name I don't know, he did a really, really good job of pulling suspense out of the tight corridors that everything was going on. Every time he pulled the camera, every time he was moving, like there was a good amount of suspense that he created just with the area that he had to work with outside of his flashbacks, which luckily got us out of the fucking plane. This movie was poorly fucking paced, and I don't mean that it was mildly poorly fucking placed. I mean, this movie was like a Star Wars poorly fucking placed movie, like paced
Take
movie.
that back.
You shut your whore mouth. Listen, the first act was I was so fucking amped for the first act, and then the second act did fuck all, and then the back end of the third act, I was back in. Like there was just a chunk, one might say the belly of this movie that did fucking nothing. And I'm let's be real about it. That was tragic pacing. It was not okay. I'm watching this. I'm like, why am I bored? I'm in. Look, there's vampires on a motherfucking plane. The one guy, that douchebag again, who's a cliche, the sadist, has one of the most interesting bits where he fucking like flashes her with his UV light and then takes the blood and's like, I'm gonna be a vampire now. Like, I mean, come on, like there's, but then nothing. Come on, there was like a draw, and it wasn't. It. I didn't feel like it like was. I don't know. The movie was poorly paced. Did anybody else have issues with the subtitles?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. If you like it's English subtitles that I couldn't turn off, but they poorly like represented the actual English speaking. Like I couldn't turn them off. I tried.
During my viewing of it on Netflix, when it was in English, there was no subtitles.
Yeah, no, I couldn't turn off. All right, so maybe it's only me. That's fine.
Maybe you should get a legitimate source for your movie.
I'm good at that.
Maybe you're speculating.
All right,
he was in the Caribbean.
The last thing I'll say about it. I did not expect to be emotionally touched by this movie.
But you were.
Okay.
Yeah. and when that kid held up the detonation remote, I mean,
that's his mom's, man.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like
And you see
he
your mom.
knew who she was, and he knew what she was about, and he as a child, he held on as long as he fucking could before she would eat him to pull that.
I mean,
fucking trigger.
not that long because she was still 100 yards away from him. And he was like,
yeah. But no, fuck off. His weapon was an explosion that was behind her. The closer she got to him, the less effective that would have been. He made the call. And that was like, that hit me weird. I didn't expect it to hit me weird like that. I was like, huh. Like, that was a big fucking deal for me. I was like, and I wasn't like, from this like campy fucking
with Dominic Purcell in it. I mean,
exactly.
You know, it's not going to be a great movie because he's in it.
I wasn't expecting it. I was pleasantly surprised by it.
The last good thing Dominic Purcell did was the first episode of Prison Break.
No disagreement there. All right, Jaron, what's your rating on this?
It's definitely a 3.
Oh wow. All right. Jason.
I would give it a 3 too. You know, it's free on Netflix. It's fun-ish.
I think I gave it a 2.5. I wouldn't add it to my Netflix streaming, but if it played before I stopped it, I would keep watching it. So
we gotta update this fucking schedule. I didn't realize I didn't realize there was 0.5s. B,
yeah, you be giving 0.5s like it's fucking candy out here.
0.5s have been all day.
We have a 5-tier system. Either it's
man,
solid number.
If you watch our last episode, it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, anywhere between. It's all number spectrums. You know, I may give a 0.8, 0.7s, depending on how much I.
Let me give this a 5. I'm gonna give this a 3.1. It's
there you go.
3, but it's like 1/10 better than a 3.
Yeah. This one scene alone gives it a 0.1. Yes.
I'll be honest. This could have been campy as fuck all, and they did a good job of like making it something serious and emotional. That's why I give it. Yeah, that's why I give it what I give it.
Yeah, because it could have been way worse. And I guess that's like hedging the bets. You know, this could have been a garbage, but it wasn't.
right.
This is recyclable.
Because people have made something in this genre trash on the regular. This took the idea and made it better. I mean, come on, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to give them credit for credit for showing up.
Yeah.
For effort. A for effort.
No.
They did.
All right. Let's jump to another attempt at A for effort here. Let's go ahead and talk about Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. I guess I'll go ahead and start this one because I don't think I started any one of them here. Let's see. The Long Hollow Bat, because Batman pissed me off this whole movie. Batman's a freaking idiot. I get the point they're trying to get. Oh, you need a partner, so I guess it sets up for an appearance of some Robin down the line if they continue this. But yeah, man, this Joker get knocked out all the time. His detecting is straight trash. And I know in the first one is like, you got to become better detectives. And I said, you don't become a better detective. You kind of are that. You just get skills and improve your ability. No one's like, doesn't have a non-skeptical mind, all of a sudden gets a skeptical mind. It doesn't work that way. So detecting was trash. The bright spots of this movie is Harvey Dent's amazing in this movie. Like the transition from him playing Harvey Dent to playing Two-Face, so Josh Duhamel, shout out to that. We talked about Nia Rivera in the first one playing Catwoman. I do feel like, and I don't know if it's because maybe the first one, I don't know, but I did feel like the voice acting was more joined and tighter with the animation that I felt in the first one. So that could have been me and the TV thing, less of that, but I did feel like it was better joined. Jensen Ackles, I think, really leaned into the Batman thing heavily and pretty good here. Helps out that a lot of the movie is with him being Batman, so I didn't have to get the whole, why is the same voice for Bruce Wayne and Batman thing? He kind of Didn't matter because he was Batman. I just want to say, first and foremost, my biggest con in this movie is that Bruce Wayne was released from Poison Ivy's Sweet Nectar, because I feel like, he should have stayed in there the whole time. My other con was, I admit, like, my other con was this movie was kind of boring. Like, I don't know if it was just me. The movie was kind of boring. And sometimes Batman did not feel like the Batman that we know he's going to become. Like, letting Miss Dent, like, just go at the end did not feel very Batman Ultimate Justice Warrior type of guy. So that kind of bothered me. I did talk about the pros, the voice work, and all that good stuff on there. The fight scenes did feel a little bit more fluid, so I thought that was pretty entertaining. And so, because lately in my reviews, I've been doing my headcanon on this. My headcanon on this, which would just make this movie a lot better for me, is if we would have started this movie in the Poison Ivy verse that he was under the trance, and we could have gotten like a Batman the Animated Series shout out for Penance to a Dream. What was it, episode 26 in there where he got to see his parents be like. I wish they would have went that direction with the flashbacks and all that. They kind of be like a tip your glass, a tip of the hat to being like, hey guys, you guys remember this from that old series, that episode you really enjoyed? And even then, I feel like, because if you would have done that when he comes out of that trance, would have made Bruce have to like fight with the fact that like he got everything he really wanted, X, Y, and Z. I thought that would have been a better way to go with it than the route they went on there, where it's just like, oh, we're just happily in love with Pamela. Okay, fuck out of here. He was a million boy. He was a playboy. Pamela's a dime a dozen for him. So fuck out of here. Other than that, man, it was a competent movie, man. I guess. Jaron, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, yeah, it finished it. It is what it is. I don't have a lot to say about this movie. It continued, because what I was looking at was animation. It just continued what the fucking first bit did. Story wise, I've read the story, so Jason, it's all you.
All right. Well, okay. This was very much a disappointment. As I said, Long Halloween is one of my favorite Batman stories of all time, and they just totally butchered it. Especially at the end, Batman never figures out that Harvey Dent's wife was a part of this. He just figured out it was Albert Falcone and Harvey Dent were killing him.
Yep.
Only person that figured that out was Harvey Dent, because the only reason he started killing people was because he thought his wife was doing it. But that was it. And so all the ones that he was blamed for were, a few of them were his wife, and they just did a whole like character assassination of her in this that wasn't in the original source material. Like, the reason she started killing was so that she could spend more time with Harvey. That was it. But like in this one, she's like was in love with Albert Falcone, and they had a baby together, and Harvey it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And like, you already killed Albert Falcone in the first one. In the comic book, he's still alive. He only fakes his death, and the whole thing fell apart. Yeah, and I would agree with you, Jason. This Batman is not Batman. He makes so many boneheaded, stupid decisions. Like, he attacks Scarecrow. He's got a gas mask, but he's like, I'm not going to worry about anything he can jab me with. The fucking guy's a doctor. You don't think he's going to carry a syringe on him? Fuck out of here. And the fact that he's like running to his parents' grave, and the like Catwoman has to basically save his ass. It's like, dude, how do you not get fucking shot by now? Like, you're like the worst Batman ever. And it's just, there's a lot of things in this that like they told the bare necessities of the story without getting to what its heart. And that's really what's really disappointing to me. And also, I know the actress that played Catwoman died from the first one, but the person they had replace her, she did not sound anything like it. It was very obvious that it was grating to me. It was just so not Catwoman-ish. It was just like just a regular woman talking. Like, this is my line. I love you, Bruce. It was bad. Everybody else was good, but that was bad. Yeah, this it's so disappointing because usually DC animated offerings are good, and this one, with the exception of like The Killing Joke, and this one, which are two really good stories, they just fucked
They're
up.
slipping.
Yeah, they're. It feels like Warner Brothers is Warner Brothering their animated universe, and it's just like stop.
Right.
Like
Which
you
is
used to
the
just
only
not
thing
give
they
a
got going for them.
It's like you used to not give a fuck and just let them do what they want to do, and they come up with these great freaking
Right.
movies, and now you're like getting your little tiny little fingers in it. And
As fucking
stop,
nerds,
Warner Brothers,
all-
stop. Just
yeah.
let them do it.
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, but as nerds, all we've wanted is for the writers of the anime sequences to be the ones that write the big blockbuster movie.
Yeah, that's all we ever want.
That's it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend the other day about because I'm getting excited about Suicide Squad, and like, oh, the first one
James
sucked.
Gunn, so I'm
Yeah.
excited.
The first one, was terrible, but they had this really great Batman movie, Batman Assault on Arkham, that's basically a Suicide Squad movie, and that shit was awesome. It came out like 2 years before the Suicide Squad movie.
Right.
If they just did that, it would have been great. Suicide movie would have been fine. It would have been
Also,
at least
let's calm down a bit because I mean I understand the Long Halloween was trash. Killing Joke was a couple of years ago, so we know that was trash, but we did get a bunch of good movies in between the Killing Joke and this movie. Hell,
yeah,
we
but it
reviewed
seemed like
Justice Society was a good movie that we reviewed. So let's slow down before we start destroying the universe already. Man of Tomorrow,
it's over.
Superman one. Man of Tomorrow, the Superman one was okay, was good too as well. Like, let's slow down. They've had 3
Take a deep breath.
misfires and 3 really bad misfires in let's say 5 years. But we've had some quality. Let's not jump around too crazy on it. I do agree with everything you said on that. But I mean, now as far as a rating, what is your rating on it?
I would give it a 2. I mean, as I say, it's a competent movie. It's still there's still some enjoyment to 2.3.
Okay, there you go.
There's still some enjoyment to have. Even at its worst, as I said last time, it's still better than any other current Batman movie we have right now.
Facts.
So
Jerry, your rating on
2.3.
it?
I mean, yeah. God.
1 through 5.
God, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You're giving it a lot, and I get that you're a Batman fan and a DC fan, but no,
That's not on the rating system. You can't just be like, no.
I'm gonna give it a solid 1.
Oh wow, first one on this show ever. I'm with Jason. I'd probably give it a 2. If it came on premium or network TV or cable, check it out. I mean, it's means I can't. One is like I can't tolerate it. Like it's burning.
One
my
is
eyes.
like
it wasn't that bad
It's
for me.
worth your time.
Yeah, Batman's
If
always
it's free TV, yeah. I mean, you know what movies CBS plays?
The animation is tragic. The characters are not what is like. Listen, you guys are all like lumping in the actual like
Batman
comic book story.
It's always worth your time.
Yeah. You're I'm talking
even
about
if he's directed by Zack Snyder, Batman is always worth your time.
Yes, 100%.
I love you all.
100%. I mean, let's be real. It's some good things in the movie. Just the movie as all is kind of messy, but like I said, I would give it a solid 2. Like this is a definition of a 2 movie for me. That if it came on TBS or TNT, I would watch it. Like The Killing Joke is a 1. If The Killing Joke came on in anything, I would turn off the TV immediately and probably break my TV for even having it on my TV.
Just
The Killing Joke was really bad.
Like that's 2 separate. Like, this is a solid 2 for me. But we respect it. It's a 1 for you. Speaking of Batman, that is going to be what our culture talk is going to be about today. We're going to talk about Batman, the billionaire, and the way he decides to protect Gotham City. Are we a fan of it or not? So let's go ahead and start that off with the Duke of all nerds. Your thoughts on how Batman and / Bruce Wayne protects Gotham? Is it an effective way, ineffective, better way, or the best way he can? All
right, so I've been giving a lot of thought about this before we even decided this is going to be a topic, so bear with me.
All right.
I love Batman. He is my second favorite superhero. My first favorite superhero is Robin because I love the whole. Yes, Tim Drake Robin is fucking awesome.
Of all superheroes,
Yes.
See, I'm a Dick Grayson guy, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm a Dick Grayson guy.
Of all superheroes, Robins are the best. Okay, but either way,
okay, Robin.
let's get back to the topic on hand. So,
let's scale this. You just said your favorite superhero of all time
is Tim Drake Robin because he is Batman, except he's a child. Yeah. He is a 13-year-old Batman. He can do everything Batman does, except he did it when he was 13.
Yeah. Even when later on they make Tim Drake the first version of Batman Beyond, which is pretty dope too. But yes, I agree. Tim Drake's a dope character that people sleep on because he hasn't got a major TV show or
he hasn't anything
major.
Never existed. Yes,
for him.
No, for you, yes. Jason, the best.
I'm a Dick Grayson guy, so he's not my Tim Drake's not my favorite Robin.
Of all superheroes, he's saying the best of all superheroes.
My favorite is Robin.
He's making a statement. He's drawing a line in the
I'm
sand.
sorry. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, no father.
You were telling me like all the other super kids, all right? They all have superpowers.
No, superheroes. Period.
I'm just saying. Usually the kid versions of them are better because they're doing the same stuff as teenagers.
You're saying
Spider-Man has powers. You know, freaking.
Didn't say anything about powers.
X-Men have powers. They're all great superheroes. Don't get me wrong.
Powers.
They have powers.
Favorite fucking hero.
Robin does it without powers. He does the exact same shit Batman does, except as a fucking teenager without powers. There's no super suits. He's just a fucking badass.
Let's be fucking real. Batman doesn't have powers either.
Exactly. That's why Batman is badass. Now you have a dude who spent half his life training to be Batman, and you got a kid who's doing that too.
So are we saying he's your favorite person that is a non-superpowered hero?
No, he's my favorite hero. Period.
Here and now.
Fucking Tim Drake
hero
is my favorite superhero of all time. I don't understand what you're not getting about this.
Yeah.
I really need to hear you say
he figured out who Batman was in 7th grade when no one else could do it.
I just need to hear you say it.
He figured out who Batman was in 7th grade, rolled up to his house like, yo, you're fucking up as Batman. You need help.
Hold on, like, Jerry, why are you upset that it's his favorite superhero? Like, Tim Drake has a great story.
Like he's not a superhero. He's a fucking orphan.
But
Tim Drake is not an orphan.
Or whatever.
Tim Drake's got parents.
Yeah.
For the most part,
parents are slimy too.
He's hung out with an old rich man for a while and didn't get his butt touched.
Why are you hating on his choice for his favorite superhero? Like,
this is
good.
We're talking about Batman. I don't think this.
You gotta say it. Favorite hero. It's not a superhero.
Yes, they are. They do something that is above of any other person. No one can be like Batman. No one can be like the Robin.
Hero is.
They are superheroes. Batman is a superhero.
No.
Yes. By the definition of superheroes, he is a super tactician.
He's a hero.
He's a superhero. He's on the Justice League. He's a superhero.
Bro,
he is top 3.
Shoot that motherfucker.
Superman looks at fucking Batman for his advice.
Shoot Green Lantern in the face, and there's no more Green Lantern either.
Yeah, you can shoot Superman with a kryptonite. You can shoot Wonder Woman, and she'd be dead.
Yeah,
if she's not wearing her bracelets.
Yeah, but I can
like
shoot
a lot of these guys
Batman in the face with a normal fucking bullet. What the? How do you? First of all, let's stop right now.
Here's the thing.
Sorry.
Batman.
How do both of you define superheroes?
Batman at any given moment is prepared to fuck up Superman.
That's
any given moment in his life.
You're not answering the question. How
so are you prepared to fuck up Superman right now? Because I'm sure as hell not. Not any fucking. The police are not prepared to fuck up Superman. They've been trying. They're like, we don't know what to do.
How do you
you know? So he's above and beyond the average person by far. Not even with his money. He's not like Iron Man. He needs this fucking special suit or anything like that. He is already above. He is trained to the T, to the inhuman level.
How do you define?
He has a. You don't have to have superpowers to be a superhero.
I'm sorry. That's fine. How do you define a superhero?
If you can get on the Justice League, you're a superhero.
The fuck out of here.
What other fucking? He is top 3 of the super fucking dudes with god level powers. Bow down to Batman. And you're not telling me he's not a fucking superhero?
Fucking, if you're already in a preconceived scenario, then
here's the issue: is that me and Jason define superhero as a hero that has super or above average feats and abilities and strengths, as in the ability to be a great detective, more than the average human being, or more physically fit than the average human being, and he has the feats that are above, let's say, the local level hero as a superhero. Like Batman has stopped cosmic threats. Jaren's
Batman has stood toe to toe with fucking Darkseid. He's a fucking superhero.
Jaren's definition is to be a superhero, you have to have super powers that makes you more than a human or more than the average run-of-the-mill ability, like beams or flight or something. So he's using the word super as the ability to be more than human, where we're using the word super as feats.
I'm using the word super as in the definition that's made by the people who create these comic books. And in DC lore, Batman is a fucking superhero. Therefore, you are wrong, because the people who make these, they say that Batman is a superhero. And since they're the experts, I'm just gonna go with what they say. He's a superhero, whether you say it or not. He is, because they say so.
Listen, man,
and they're the ones that do this.
You
and since Batman is a superhero, Robin is a superhero. Since I'm not going to go to the fucking doctor and be like, well, it doesn't look like it's cancer, because I think cancer is actually,
Let me ask Jaren this: is Tony Stark a superhero?
No, he's a hero.
Okay.
Yes.
Is the Hulk a superhero?
Because he's straight up said, ironically, he straight up said, even in the fucking movies, I'm just a man in a can. Like, fuck, are you kidding me? He's a human being that has surrounded himself with,
and which is always why Iron Man is going to be worse than Batman.
It does not make him a superhero. It makes him a fucking hero.
Iron Man sucks. Batman is a fucking G.
Well, here's one.
Are you fucking kidding me? Because Iron Man would beat Batman.
No, he would not. Not in any universe would Iron Man win against Batman. That is not
crazy.
Fucking Iron Man will wake up and get slapped for even dreaming about beating Batman. There's no down. Not even when they did their crossovers did they ever even think about saying Iron Man could beat Batman.
You're so
no. Iron Man can even beat fucking Captain America. All right. And Captain America fought Batman and was like, oh shit, we ain't gonna win this. Ain't nobody gonna win this. We're gonna just beat each other up.
Well, wait. It sounded like you agreed with me for a second, but I don't know where you're at because you've just been going.
I'm saying that there is no universe in which Iron Man can beat Batman.
Oh,
there's no universe.
Wrong. Okay, that's
no, I'm not wrong.
Right, we're good.
They've done this.
Hold on. So, Jaren, here's another question: is Bruce Banner a superhero?
Oof. Yes.
Why so?
Because he is extra human when it comes to what he can do.
But that's the Hulk. That isn't Bruce Banner.
Well, you can't have the Hulk without Bruce Banner.
Well, you can. They've done it numerous times.
I used to respect your opinion, Jaron, but after this, I don't even know, man.
Listen,
Batman is the Hulk is actually
you and I can disagree on a lot of things, but the fact that you're trying to put fucking Batman against Iron Man and you think that's gonna be a thing
is the triumvirate of all superheroes. He's top. He's number one of everybody.
Superman now?
Yes.
You said the penumbrum.
I said he is the top of all superheroes.
Who?
He is Batman.
Who?
Batman.
Fuck off. Superman is the penumbrum of all superheroes.
I would agree that Superman is the top.
That you think
well, then Batman is number 2.
I love that you think some rich.
They are on. They are 1 and 2. They are the archetypes of superheroes.
He's the best superhero.
They're archetypes of superhero. Batman and Superman are 1 and 2. Everybody else is below them. Batman is a superhero.
You're out of your mind.
This is the way it is. I'm not even saying anything controversial. You're the one saying something controversial.
Could take Batman and just fucking put his face in the ground.
Well, no, he wouldn't.
Wrong with
you. To fire
the
with her.
Flash. The Flash get in Batman.
Have you not read Power of
Superman
Babel?
get
Have
in
you
Batman
Batman would run roughshod
what?
over all of them if he wanted to. He just doesn't because he's a nice guy.
Nah.
Nice is a relative
superpower
word.
is
Let's
being
just say
Because they're his friends.
they're useful. Yeah, they're useful for now. That's why.
Batman, there is a literal graphic novel about how Batman can fuck up everybody.
Yeah.
And they were
They
like,
made an animated series about it. I mean, they made a movie about it.
Yeah, they copied
they were like,
Professor
and after that series, no one trusted that. Everybody's looking at Batman through the side eye because they're like, this dude could fuck us up if he ever wanted to. Because he's just a dude and he has to figure this shit out. That's why he's on the team, because he's the one who can figure this shit out.
That's fine. Give it to him. But let's be real. If you're a superpowered person and you're worried about that guy, he's I've already figured out this guy.
Here's where you already fucked up, Jared.
You'll look fucking into him in a heartbeat.
Here's where you already fucked up, Jared. You saying, let's be real. This isn't real. Yes, if Batman was in real life, he would get fucked up. But from on paper, where the universe where he does exist, he does not get fucked up by anybody because that's the way he's been designed to do it. So in paper, where the only thing that matters is what happens in the comic books and in the movies, Batman fucks up everybody. He is a superhero. You could say, oh, in real life, Superman wouldn't exist. He would just fucking come from the stars and collapse because the planet would be too much for him to bear.
So then Batman wouldn't be a superhero; he'd be a weird dude with a lot
He would
of
be
money.
a weird dude dressed in black, and just like every other weird dude who tries to be a superhero here on this earth.
And he get pulled over because the Batmobile doesn't have a fucking tag on it.
Doesn't have a fucking license plate, and they would shoot him in the fucking face as soon as they saw him. Right? Yep. And as soon as fucking 100%. Superman came here, they would have found a way to fucking kill that guy. And fucking Amazon, they would have nuked fucking Themyscira.
Why are we having this conversation?
Because there's a lot more.
You're the one who's like,
so I'm gonna jump in on certain things. One, Batman would smoke Iron Man for just plot armor alone. Batman would smoke. Because let's be real, Iron Man is a C-list character for the longest time. Until the Marvel Universe, all through the generations of Iron Man's existence, he was a C-list character. Batman was an A-list. So that alone, that's the same reason why Wolverine beats a lot of people that Wolverine should have no business beating, because Wolverine's an A-list character and they had to prop up A-list characters. So that alone,
Wolverine can't beat Magneto.
He has beaten Magneto before.
He has actually beat Magneto before when he was in Bone Claw. But that's a story for another different day. Once again, Iron Man alone would lose just for that reason alone, plot armor. The second thing
come play some Mario Golf with me.
The second thing is, yes, Batman typically always fucks up Superman shit in all the incarnations. But Batman always acknowledges too that if Superman ever really tried to kill him, seriously,
motherfucker,
he would be X'd out. Batman's acknowledged that many times, and every time he's fought Superman, Superman's always held something back, even when he was mind controlled.
Because he Superman's a fucking superhero, and Batman's a dude with a cape.
Not true.
Let's be
real.
Let's be real. Let's be real fucking real about it.
Let's not be real about it because it isn't real.
Batman's a superhero, man. We're not going to do that.
He's the definition of superhero.
Would make Batman a stain, and Iron Man would also make Batman a stain.
No.
Well,
no.
Who are here's Jared? Here's a better one. Then who wins, Lex Luthor or Tony Stark?
Oh, fuck. All right. So in the history of Luthor, he's the best. Like when he gets up, when he does his thing, he's always like joining up with like Brainiac or somebody. So if we're just talking Luthor straight, like a human that's trying to be president versus Tony Stark. Yeah, Iron Man's winning it, kid.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Firstly, Lex Luthor is a fucking bodybuilder. He fucking knows how to fucking fight hand to hand. Secondly, he also has a fucking super suit that can take on fucking Superman.
Go fist Iron Man suit. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
And also,
if he's
Lex
half
Luthor is ruthless, he's just going to kill Iron Man.
Man's got something to worry
Iron Man's going to try to pull him in. He's like, I'm going to bring you in, Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor's like, you're going to try, and I'm going to break your neck, and I'm going to use you to and sell
him like he's Hammer Industries.
Jesus, Jared, I can't believe you're this wrong. Like, here's the thing.
Okay for you
Here's
to
the
not
thing.
be all right.
They've had
It's
what
okay
if
for you to
comics.
not be
There
right
was a
about
time
it.
in the early 90s where Marvel and DC have crossed over, where they were like, let's work together on this. And they had a what if comics. And guess who wasn't in there?
This
Not
is
fucking
your
Iron
fucking
Man. He wasn't in
referencing.
that fucking shit.
Get the
And when
fuck outta
fucking
here.
Batman and Captain America fought, Captain America and Batman were like, we can't fight because if we fought each other, it'd be a
Gambit
stand-up.
fucking stole the Batmobile. The fuck is wrong with you?
Fucking A,
That's
man.
what
This is
you're
a Batmobile. It's just a
referencing?
car. Who gives a shit?
That's what you're referencing?
Jesus, this is
fuck
like
outta
that
here.
fucking TikTok about the fucking Wizard of Oz thing. You can't read a fucking book, bro. Read a fucking book. You can't tell me this shit's wrong. Read a fucking
All right,
book.
well, then even all right. Well, let's go with this. Let's see what Jaren's semantics are. Is Spider-Man a mutant?
No, he's a metahuman.
No, that's not true either.
Okay, all right. So
A
he's not
mutant
a
is
mutant.
something. It is somebody that's born with it. It's a genetic manipulation. So no.
Yeah, but he's not a metahuman either because that's a DC thing. He's a mutate.
Yeah, okay.
But he's not a
All
mutant.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
say he was a
physically
mutant.
mutate.
All right, that's fair.
That means he was born a human and mutated to
Just something else. He's a mutate.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was seeing it because if you would have said Spider-Man was a mutant, then I think that would have been contradictory to your Batman being a superhero thing. Because yeah. All right. So at least you're consistent. So I'll give you that. I want to
Consistently wrong.
consistency.
Jared, at least he's consistent.
Yeah.
I mean,
At least your
okay,
delusions
well,
are
full
consistent
frame,
delusions. You're not just all over the place like some crazy person. You're just a regular crazy person.
No.
Trying to
Well-
tell me the fucking Batman is. Oh my goodness.
think
I need
we
your
will
nerd
save
card.
this Batman discussion for another episode. I think we got what we
Because
need
apparently-
for culture talk.
Yeah. I think we
Um,
had another thing to talk about, but I don't think we have the time. And you and I, need to have
Jared,
a
for you, let's just go real quickly. Who is your favorite superhero of all time?
of all time.
Yeah.
That's some dumb shit. Damn it,
It's gonna be fucking Vibe. I loved him. He was so great.
Gambit.
Gambit? Oh my fucking.
He just likes it because of the
I'm done.
Capcom
Gambit
versus
is fucking
X-Men and
ruthless.
video
Oh
games.
my-
That's why he's picking Gambit. In the X-Men 90s cartoon, that's why he's picking Gambit. No other reason he could be picking Gambit besides that.
Not even a fucking Omega level mutant.
I'm sorry. I
Gambit
didn't,
is a dude version of Jubilee.
I'm sorry I didn't choose Nimrod. What you got, Jason number A?
You already know mine is a fucking teenager who can do what Batman shit is. It's fucking Tim Drake Robin. And I would pick any Robin over any of the fucking X-Men any day.
That's not a mutant. Fact. Come on, man. He said,
Oh,
"What's
my
your
favorite mutant?"
No, I said
Iceman.
superhero.
Oh,
Yeah, your
Oh.
favorite superhero.
I thought you said mutant. Oh, all right.
No.
That's
Oh,
fine.
if I did, I misspoke. I meant favorite superhero.
You said superhero. That's what I heard.
To be fair, I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong
You are wrong.
about what he said.
No.
So who's your
about
favorite
everything.
superhero?
My favorite superhero of all time,
hmm
across all
I was
spectrums,
gonna say blue.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
I mean, let's be real honest about it. Spider-Man's amazing in
I
every
see what you did
iteration.
there. I see
In
what you did
every
there.
iteration.
Padang-pung.
So, can I make the speculation that you only really like Spider-Man as your number one guy because his abilities? Because Tim Drake pretty much is Spider-Man without the abilities, but probably smarter.
Way smart. Well, I wouldn't say smarter because Spider-Man is a fucking professor.
Well, that's what I didn't say. Wait, so I think he's smart. I think Tim Drake's smarter because he knows the stuff that Spider-Man knows, but also has to be a human. And
Yeah,
succeed
and can
without.
kick ass with his fists.
I'm just throwing it out there because that's why I wanted to ask you. Because I knew Spider-Man's your favorite guy. That's why I wanted to see. It was a setup question. I'm gonna be real with you. That's why I wanted to see. Like, so you basically like Spider-Man because his power set, because they are pretty much almost the same character to a good degree,
Except for all of the differences.
I mean, there are differences, but I mean, like they're both.
Yeah,
young
one
heroes.
has spider powers, the other one doesn't. That's where it ends.
Fuck.
They're both
Well, they're essentially the same, though.
I'm saying they have a lot of similarities.
They both dress in red. How about that? They have similarities too.
Swing from rooftops.
They swing from rooftops. Yeah, fight crime in a city. They both went to college. Can't believe
they both went to college. Yes.
Both good, trying to sit here and tell me that Batman is not a fucking superhero. I thought I've seen everything in this world had to offer.
All right. Listen, we do this for movie reviews and everything else. How about we do one midweek like inter bit where we just talk about our favorite superhero and that's it. And that's it. You get one superhero, you get fucking 5 minutes to talk about him and her, and that's it.
I mean, let's be honest, it's not going to be a her because we're dudes.
It might be.
Yeah, we sexualize them too much to one of them.
Yeah. I'm just saying we can do it a little interstitial. Let's do it. Because I'm curious. Like if both of you really had to fucking boil it down to your favorite.
Robin. Tim Drake Robin. Why else would I say it?
Let's be real. My favorite's a Homer. My favorite's Superman. So I don't have any issues one way or another what you guys choose. My favorite's is the Homer.
Oh.
So
Robin? The
yes.
Fuck out of here.
Because he does the exact same shit as Batman, except he's a kid.
Okay, so he's
like
a younger version of a guy that's psychopathic and
who can beat Superman.
Sorted.
Okay, well, that's another great episode of the N-Word for Nerd podcast. I thank you all for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the content that you heard from us. If you did enjoy that content, please share it with everybody. But more importantly, we need you to subscribe to us on Headcanon Circus on Facebook, YouTube, and all the places you listen to podcasts. We're excited to have you here, and thank you all for listening. Please remember to comment below. And because I know what you just heard probably made you upset, regardless of what topic you were listening to, we probably pissed somebody off. And tell us how we're wrong, or at least tell us how you're wrong.
Or how Jared is wrong.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Let's put that all down there in the bottom. And then, as always, we're signing off here. Jared, any closing words you want to say to everybody out there?
Jason is wrong about Robin.
All right.
Goofy little fuck.
And Jason, number 8,
Robin.
Any closing words?
Jared is wrong about everything. Not just about Robin, just about everything in general. Be kind to one another and tip your servers. And also, Batman is a fucking superhero.
Nope.
It also just feels
he's a rich guy with
arguing with Jared for once on the show. We'll see you guys next week.